A researcher once tracked over 200 self-made millionaires for 5 years and found almost all of them shared one daily habit that had nothing to do with stock picking, side hustles, or salary. They checked their net worth every single day, not once a year at tax time, not when the market was up and it felt good. Every day, rain or shine, good news or bad. Thomas Stanley spent decades studying self-made millionaires for his research on wealth-building behavior, and one detail kept showing up that had nothing to do with income. Most of these people weren't the highest earners in their neighborhoods. Plenty of them drove older cars and lived in modest houses, but almost every one of them could tell you their net worth to the dollar without checking. Not because they were obsessed with money, but because they'd simply never stopped looking. Most people assume wealthy people got rich first and the confidence to look at their numbers came after. It's actually the reverse. The daily habit of looking came first and the wealth followed because of something psychologists call the ostrich effect. Here's the mechanism. Researchers studying investor behavior found that people check their portfolios far less often after the market drops, sometimes logging in half as frequently during downturns as during rallies. We treat bad financial news the way an ostrich supposedly treats danger. Bury the head, don't look, hope it resolves itself. The problem is, money doesn't resolve itself while you're not looking. Debt still compounds, subscriptions still renew. A bad investment doesn't quietly fix itself just because you close the app. This isn't unique to investing either. The same avoidance shows up with credit card statements and retirement balances. Anywhere there's an uncomfortable information, the instinct is the same. If I don't check, it hasn't technically happened yet. Except it has. You've just delayed the moment you have to deal with it, usually until dealing with it is harder. Every time you avoid checking, you're not avoiding the problem, you're just avoiding the information, which means you can't act on it until it's bigger and harder to fix. That single avoidance, repeated for years, is the quiet difference between someone whose net worth creeps upward and someone whose net worth creeps downward without them ever noticing exactly when it started. The people in that study weren't checking their numbers because they enjoyed good news. Most days there wasn't dramatic news either way. They checked because the habit itself rewires something deeper. It keeps your brain in constant contact with your future self instead of letting weeks or months of denial build up. A small daily glance costs you nothing. A yearly reckoning costs you years of compounding you can't get back. There's a name for what this habit builds. Financial self-awareness, not intelligence about markets, just an accurate, current picture of where you stand. And accuracy is what allows good decisions. You cannot fix, negotiate, invest, or cut what you refuse to look at. Here's how simple the habit actually is in practice. It's not a spreadsheet marathon. Most people in these studies spent under 2 minutes a day just glancing at account balances, then closing the app. No analysis required. The 2 minutes isn't for calculation, it's for staying present with your own numbers, so they never get the chance to quietly slide while you're not paying attention. If you want to try it, don't wait for a good day to start. Start today, especially if today feels like a bad money day. Open your accounts, actually look at the number, and just notice it without judging it. Do that daily for 2 weeks and you'll likely notice something shift, not in your balance yet, but in how much less anxiety looking at it produces. This channel exists for exactly this, the small, boring, research-backed habits that quietly separate people who build wealth from people who just hope for it. Subscribe if you want the next one before it costs you another year of not looking.